Ladies and gentlemen, dear friend and fellow dreamer, I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, and think about the person you were a year ago, 5 years ago, or maybe even last month. Ask yourself, how much of that version of you are you still holding on to? The fears, the doubts, the excuses, the I can't and I'm not enough. We often look at our past selves like they're still in charge, and that's the biggest lie we've been telling ourselves. Now I want to challenge you. Kill that weak version of your life. Because the truth is, we all have a version of ourselves that is filled with limitations. A version that says, I can't do this. A version that lives under the shadow of others' opinions. A version that holds back because of the pain it's been through. But here's the harsh truth. That version of you is just a chapter. It's not the whole book. And you are the one who has the power to write the next page. You are the author of your story, the artist of your masterpiece. You are capable of so much more than you've allowed yourself to believe. How do I know? Because I've been there. I've faced the impossible. I've felt the weight of the world on my shoulders. I've stared at my broken pieces and thought to myself, how could I ever rebuild? But then I realized those broken pieces were not a sign of weakness. They were a call to strength. They were an invitation to rise up and create a life that doesn't just survive, it thrives. You see, we hold on to our pain, our past mistakes, the failures like they define us. We let them make us small. But let me tell you, your strength is born from what you've overcome, not what you've avoided. That weak version of yourself, it's time to let it go. It's time to release the idea that you're not enough, that your circumstances control you, that you're stuck in a cycle. I know it's hard. Life doesn't always hand us the best cards. But guess what? The strength to change, to evolve, and to create the life you deserve, it's not something you wait for. It's something you decide. Today, make the decision. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, kill that weak version of your life. Look in the mirror and see the powerful person you were always meant to be. Step into your greatness. Rise above the doubts. Become the version of yourself that you've only dreamed of. Because when you choose to step forward, to push past your fears and doubts, when you refuse to stay in that weak version of your life anymore, you not only change your future, you inspire everyone around you to do the same. So go ahead, kill that weak version of your life. It's time to become the person you were always meant to be. We all go through moments in life when we feel overwhelmed by the weight of our circumstances. Sometimes it feels like the world is pressing down on us, making us question everything we've ever believed about ourselves. The voices inside our head, the doubts, the fears, the insecurities, can be deafening. They convince us that we are too small to face what's in front of us, too weak to overcome the challenges. In those moments, it's easy to forget that we have a strength within us that is often greater than we realize. But what is this strength? It's not always about physical power or bravado. It's not about the ability to push through every challenge with ease. True strength comes from within, and it is about resilience. It's the ability to rise after every fall, to get up when life knocks you down. It's the courage to keep going, even when you can't see the way forward. It's the quiet conviction that you have the capacity to create change, even when everything seems out of your control. The first step in embracing your strength is to stop underestimating it. So many of us spend our lives looking for external validation, waiting for someone to tell us we're capable, to recognize our potential, to confirm that we can achieve greatness. But the truth is, the power to change, to succeed, and to rise is already inside of you. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You already have everything you need to begin the journey toward the person you were already meant to be. This realization can be both liberating and intimidating. It's liberating because it means that you are no longer at the mercy of the opinions or circumstances around you. You have the agency to shape your own destiny. But it can also be intimidating because it requires you to look inward and face the parts of yourself that you may have been avoiding. It asks you to recognize your own power, and sometimes that's a daunting task. We've all been conditioned to focus on what we lack, what we don't have, and what we can't do. But in reality, strength isn't about perfection. It's about resilience and adaptability. It's about how you rise when things get hard, how you learn from failure, and how you move forward even when you don't have all the answers. When we embrace our strength, we stop seeing ourselves as victims of our circumstances. Instead, we recognize that we are active participants in our own stories. Life isn't something that happens to us, it's something that we have the power to shape. Every choice we make, every action we take reflects our belief in our own ability to navigate life's challenges. By embracing our strength, we acknowledge that we are capable of weathering any storm that comes our way, that no matter how difficult the road may seem, we can keep moving forward. It's important to understand that embracing your strength doesn't mean you won't have moments of vulnerability. Strength is not about being invincible. It's about being real with yourself, accepting that you are human and knowing that you can still persevere even when you feel broken. The key is not to see vulnerability as a weakness, but as part of the strength that makes us human. It's okay to feel uncertain, to feel scared, to feel exhausted, to feel exalted, to feel free, to feel absolutely so. These emotions are valid, but what matters is that you don't let them define you. You don't let them dictate the course of your life. You find a way to rise above them and move forward. Sometimes embracing your strength means embracing your flaws too. It means understanding that your imperfections are not what hold you back. They are what make you unique, and they are what give you the perspective and empathy needed to connect with others. Strength is about owning who you are, imperfections and all, and using those qualities to fuel your growth. Rather than hiding your weaknesses, you learn to use them as stepping stones toward personal growth. As you begin to recognize your strength, you also start to recognize the power of perseverance. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your resilience. Strength is not about grand gestures or monumental achievements. It's about the quiet determination to keep going when things get tough, the ability to make progress in the face of adversity, and the refusal to quit when you're not yet where you want to be. Perseverance doesn't mean you're always moving at lightning speed. It means you're committed to continuing, even when the progress feels slow. One of the most profound aspects of embracing your strength is realizing that setbacks are not failures. In fact, they're often the very thing that sharpens us, that pushes us to dig deeper, to find new ways of thinking and being. When you face a setback, don't view it as the end of the road. See it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to refine your approach. Every challenge, every failure carries with it valuable lessons that can help you grow stronger. It's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up, how you use each experience to become more resilient, more capable, and more confident in your ability to handle whatever comes next. Another essential part of embracing your strength is learning to trust yourself. Self-doubt can be crippling, and it often holds us back from taking risks, from pursuing our goals, and from stepping into our true potential. But trust is an essential component of strength. Trusting yourself means believing that you have the ability to make decisions that are in your best interest, that you can handle the consequences of those decisions, and that you are worthy of the success and happiness you seek. When you trust yourself, you stop second-guessing your every move. You stop waiting for external approval or validation. You start making decisions from a place of inner confidence, knowing that even if things don't always go according to plan, you are capable of navigating whatever comes your way. It's also crucial to understand that strength is not something you have to cultivate in isolation. While the internal strength we all possess is fundamental, our external environment, our support systems, our relationships, and the communities we build can help us nurture and amplify that strength. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, who encourage you, who challenge you to be your best can be an incredible asset in your journey toward embracing your own power. But it's important to remember that at the end of the day, your strength comes from within. While others can offer support, guidance, and love, the ultimate responsibility for embracing your strength lies with you. Strength is also about accepting responsibility for your life and your choices. It's about owning the decisions you make and understanding that you have the ability to shape your own future. The more you accept responsibility for your actions, the more control you regain over your life. When you stop blaming others or circumstances for your struggles, you begin to see yourself as the one in charge of your journey. You understand that you are not powerless and you can take the necessary steps to create the life you desire. In embracing your strength, you also begin to understand that it's a lifelong journey. Strength doesn't come overnight. It's something you build over time through experience, through reflection, and through a commitment to growth. It's not about reaching a destination, but about the continual process of discovering just how strong you truly are. Every challenge, every experience, and every moment of difficulty offers an opportunity to expand your understanding of yourself and your capabilities. Embracing your strength also means learning to let go of what no longer serves you. Often we hold on to things, whether it's negative thought patterns, toxic relationships, or old habits that drain our energy and diminish our power. Letting go is an act of strength. It's about recognizing that you deserve more and that in order to move forward, you need to release what is holding you back. When you embrace your strength, you stop allowing external forces to dictate your life. You become the author of your own story and you begin to write chapters that reflect your true potential. As you continue on this journey of embracing your strength, remember that it is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is about making the decision every single day to show up for yourself. It is about recognizing that you are worthy of success, happiness, and fulfillment, and that your strength is the key to unlocking all of that. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission to step into your power. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The moment is now, and you are stronger than you think. We often find ourselves trapped in a cycle of self-doubt, plagued by thoughts that tell us we are not enough. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that the barriers we face, whether they're external challenges or internal insecurities, are insurmountable. We begin to think that our dreams are too big, our capabilities too small, or that others are simply better equipped for success than we are. In these moments, we let our own minds become the biggest obstacle. But the most important realization in breaking free from this cycle is understanding that the limits we face are often self-imposed. They are the result of our beliefs about what we can and cannot do, shaped by past experiences, societal expectations, and perhaps most powerfully, the stories we tell ourselves about who we are. The first step in breaking free from this mindset is recognizing that our beliefs are not truths, they are simply perceptions. For example, the thought, "I'm not good enough," isn't an inherent truth about who you are. It's a belief often born from comparison to others or from past failures. It's easy to internalize those negative messages, especially when they've been reinforced over time, but the truth is that they don't define you. Every single person who has ever succeeded has faced moments of doubt, fear, and insecurity. But they didn't let those feelings dictate their actions. Instead, they chose to push through them. They chose to redefine their self-worth, focusing on their potential rather than their perceived limitations. One of the most powerful ways to release limiting beliefs is by shifting your perspective. Think about a time in your life when you faced a significant challenge. At the time, it might have seemed like an impossible situation. Yet, with time and reflection, you can probably see how that experience, as difficult as it was, helped you grow in ways you might not have expected. We tend to focus on what we lack, our weaknesses, our mistakes, the things that didn't go as planned. But when we start to see those moments not as failures, but as opportunities for growth, we begin to realize that we can learn from anything, even our most painful experiences. The key to overcoming limiting beliefs is learning to reframe the way we think about ourselves and our potential. We have to stop defining ourselves by our past, by our failures, or by what others expect from us. Instead, we need to focus on what is possible in the present moment. We can choose to believe in our ability to create change. We can choose to embrace the idea that we are always evolving, always learning, and always growing. The more we focus on our strengths, the more we can begin to dismantle the false narratives we've created around our weaknesses. The truth is, we are capable of much more than we often give ourselves credit for. But we have to be willing to shift our mindset in order to see that potential. It's also essential to understand that letting go of limiting beliefs doesn't mean abandoning all caution or being reckless. It means embracing a mindset of possibility where we can assess risks without being paralyzed by fear. Limiting beliefs often stem from a place of fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of not being good enough. But fear can be a great teacher. It signals areas of growth, opportunities to expand, and challenges to overcome. Rather than allowing fear to control us, we can use it as a source of motivation. We can move forward despite the fear, knowing that it's a natural part of the journey. In addition to reframing our thoughts, another powerful tool in letting go of limiting beliefs is taking action. Our beliefs about ourselves are often rooted in inaction or avoidance. When we feel unsure of ourselves, we tend to hesitate, to hold back from taking the steps we need to move forward. But every small action we take, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is a step toward breaking the cycle of self-doubt. The more we push ourselves to act, the more we prove to ourselves that we are capable of success. It's not about making giant leaps. It's about consistently taking steps, even when we don't feel ready. By acting in spite of fear, we slowly begin to rebuild our confidence, one step at a time. Letting go of limiting beliefs requires us to be kinder to ourselves. It's easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism, to focus on what we haven't achieved or where we've fallen short. But this constant self-judgment only reinforces the belief that we're not good enough. Instead, we need to practice self-compassion. We need to be gentle with ourselves when we make mistakes and recognize that growth is a process. No one succeeds overnight, and no one is perfect. When we allow ourselves to make mistakes, we give ourselves permission to learn from them rather than allowing them to define our abilities. It's about understanding that failure is a part of the journey, not an endpoint. It's about seeing setbacks as opportunities to learn, adjust, and grow stronger. The process of letting go of limiting beliefs also involves surrounding ourselves with positivity and support. We are influenced by the people we spend time with. And if we are surrounded by negative influences or people who reinforce our doubts, it becomes much harder to break free from limiting beliefs. It's crucial to seek out relationships that uplift and encourage us, people who remind us of our potential and who help us see the possibilities when we can't. Being in an environment that fosters growth, that challenges us to think differently, and that encourages us to step outside of our comfort zones can make all the difference in breaking free from self-imposed limits. Letting go of limiting beliefs is about reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that you are the one in control of your life, not your past, not your circumstances, and not the opinions of others. It's about taking responsibility for the stories you tell yourself and deciding to write a new narrative. one that is based on possibility, growth, and self-belief. When you let go of the beliefs that hold you back, you free yourself to step into your full potential, to live the life you deserve, and to achieve things you once thought were impossible. We often allow our past to dictate who we are today, letting our mistakes and failures shape the narrative of our lives. We tend to define ourselves by our past experiences, whether they're moments of triumph or failure. We carry the weight of our histories with us, and sometimes we allow those experiences to limit what we believe is possible for our future. But the truth is that our past is just that. The past. It does not have to define us. It doesn't have to limit our potential. What matters is who we choose to become moving forward. Our past experiences, both good and bad, are valuable lessons, but they are not the final chapter in our story. We often get caught up in the idea that who we were yesterday or years ago determines who we can be today. We cling to our past mistakes, believing that they are proof of our limitations, proof of why we won't succeed or why we can't move forward. But in reality, our past is merely a collection of moments, experiences, and decisions that have shaped us. It's not a permanent reflection of who we are or who we can be. The truth is, we have the power to redefine ourselves at any moment. We have the ability to change, to evolve, and to become someone greater than we were before. The first step in releasing the hold of our past is understanding that we are not our mistakes. We are not our failures. We are not the sum of our struggles. We are constantly evolving, and every day offers a new opportunity to make different choices, to take new actions, and to move closer to the person we want to be. The mistakes we've made in the past don't determine our worth or our future. They're simply part of the journey. They are lessons, not definitions. We must learn to forgive ourselves for the things we wish we had done differently. We must let go of the guilt and shame that often accompanies our past, knowing that holding on to those feelings only prevents us from moving forward. The power to shape our future lies in our ability to let go of the past. Every time we allow ourselves to be held captive by our history, we are giving away our power to change. We are choosing to live in the past rather than in the present moment, where growth and transformation can happen. Moving forward means acknowledging that the past can't be rewritten, but the future is still unwritten. Our past doesn't have to define the possibilities of our future. It doesn't have to keep us stuck in patterns that no longer serve us. At some point, we must make a conscious choice to let go of the beliefs, fears, and limiting thoughts that are tied to our past experiences. We may have been told in the past that we weren't good enough, or perhaps we've experienced rejection or failure that left us feeling unworthy. These experiences can leave deep scars, and they may cause us to doubt our abilities or our potential. But it's essential to understand that the way others have treated us or the mistakes we've made do not determine who we are today. We have the power to decide who we want to be moving forward. The most important thing is to stop letting our past experiences control our present and future. One of the most significant ways we can move forward from our past is to adopt a mindset of growth. We must stop viewing our experiences through the lens of failure and start seeing them as opportunities for growth and learning. Failure is not the end of the road. We all have setbacks and we all make mistakes. What matters is how we respond to them. Do we let those experiences define us? Or do we choose to use them as stepping stones to become better versions of ourselves? When we begin to see challenges and setbacks as opportunities to learn, we release the negative grip of our past. We give ourselves permission to grow, to try again, and to move beyond the limitations we once believed were insurmountable. Another essential part of moving forward is the practice of self-compassion. We are often our harshest critics, holding ourselves to impossible standards and constantly reliving our past mistakes. But if we want to let go of the past, we must learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a friend. It's okay to have made mistakes. It's okay to have failed. What's important is that we don't let those mistakes define our value. We have to remind ourselves that we are worthy of love, success, and happiness, regardless of what has happened in the past. We must forgive ourselves for the things we can't change and accept ourselves as we are right now. As we move forward, we must also learn to let go of the need for approval from others. Too often, we let the opinions of those around us dictate our choices and define our worth. We may have been told by others that we weren't capable, that we weren't good enough, or that we couldn't achieve our dreams. Those opinions, just like our past mistakes, don't define us. The only opinion that matters is our own. We must learn to trust ourselves, our abilities, and our potential. We must believe that we are worthy of success and happiness, even if others haven't seen our value in the past. One of the most powerful ways to release the grip of the past is to practice living in the present moment. When we focus on the here and now, we free ourselves from the heavy burden of past regrets or future anxieties. The past no longer has the power to hold us back. The only time we truly have is the present. By focusing on the present, we open ourselves up to the possibilities of the future. The possibilities of the future. We give ourselves permission to start anew, to take risks, and to move forward without the weight of our past weighing us down. The past can't be changed. We cannot go back and undo the decisions we made, the mistakes we experienced, or the challenges we faced. But we can choose how we allow those experiences to shape us. We can decide to stop letting them define us. Every single day is a new opportunity to rewrite our story, to choose who we want to be, and to step into the future we desire. When we let go of the past, we give ourselves the freedom to create the future we desire. We often think that change requires a massive transformation, a radical shift that will happen all at once. We wait for that perfect moment when everything will align, when we will suddenly have the energy, the confidence, or the resources to make a significant leap. But the truth is, change isn't a singular event. It's a series of small, deliberate actions that build upon each other over time. The power to create meaningful change in our lives lies not in waiting for the right moment, but in making the decision to take the first step, no matter how small it may seem. Change begins with a choice. It starts the moment we decide that we are no longer willing to accept the status quo, that we are ready to step outside of our comfort zones and take the first step towards something different. It may not be easy and it may not be immediate, but every change, no matter how minor, contributes to our growth and our progress. The decision to change is powerful because it signifies our willingness to take responsibility for our lives and our future. It means that we are no longer waiting for external circumstances to dictate our happiness or our success. Instead, we are taking control of our own path. The process of change often begins with recognizing that where we are right now isn't where we want to stay. It requires us to look at our current situation honestly, to evaluate what's working and what isn't, and to admit that we are ready for something more. We often get comfortable with what we know, even when it no longer serves us. The fear of the unknown, the fear of stepping outside of what feels safe, holds us back. But staying in our comfort zone can prevent us from reaching our full potential. It can keep us trapped in the same patterns, the same routines, the same thought processes, preventing us from growing. Change requires us to challenge the way we think, to break free from the patterns that are no longer helping us, and to open ourselves to new possibilities. The first step toward change is understanding that it won't happen overnight. We often expect immediate results, and when they don't come, we get discouraged. But lasting change takes time. It's built on small decisions and consistent actions that over time lead to greater transformation. When we try to rush the process, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Change is gradual, and it's made up of the little decisions we make every day. Whether it's waking up earlier to start the day with intention, choosing healthier habits, or simply deciding to shift our mindset, these small actions accumulate and create momentum. In order to make lasting change, we must also understand that setbacks and obstacles are a natural part of the process. It's easy to become discouraged when things don't go according to plan. We may encounter challenges that cause us to question whether the change is worth it, or we may stumble along the way, falling back into old habits. But setbacks aren't failures. They are opportunities to learn, to adjust, and to grow. The key to making lasting change is persistence. It's about getting back up after each setback and continuing to move forward, even when the road is difficult. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to build resilience and to strengthen our commitment to the change we are creating. Another important aspect of creating change is having a clear vision of what we want. Without a clear vision, it's easy to get lost in the process, to become overwhelmed by the challenges, or to lose sight of why we started in the first place. Having a clear vision of the life we want to create provides us with direction and motivation. It gives us a reason to keep moving forward, even when the journey feels long or difficult. Our vision acts as a guiding light, helping us to stay focused on the bigger picture, rather than getting bogged down by the obstacles that may arise along the way. A clear vision alone is not enough. Change also requires action. It's not enough to simply dream about the future we want or to imagine the person we hope to become. We must take concrete steps toward that vision every day. Change requires us to take responsibility for our actions, to set goals, and to actively work toward them. It's not about waiting for the perfect opportunity. It's about making the most of the opportunities that come our way and creating new ones when necessary. Every step we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to the life we envision. The key is consistency, showing up every day, taking action, and continuing to move forward even when progress feels slow. As we work toward change, it's also essential to recognize the importance of self-compassion. Change is not always easy, and it's easy to be hard on ourselves when things don't go as planned. We may feel like we're not making enough progress, or we may become frustrated with the pace of change. But self-compassion allows us to acknowledge our efforts and to be gentle with ourselves during the process. It's about understanding that change takes time and that we are doing the best we can. By being kind to ourselves and recognizing the progress we've made, we build the inner strength and resilience we need to continue on our journey. Another crucial aspect of creating change is the willingness to let go of what no longer serves us. Sometimes, in order to move forward, we have to release old beliefs, habits, or relationships that are holding us back. This can be one of the most difficult parts of the change process, as we may have an attachment to the things we need to let go of. However, holding on to the past can prevent us from making room for the new. Letting go is not about discarding what is valuable, but about creating space for growth and new opportunities. It's about being willing to release the things that no longer align with the person we are becoming. The power to create change is within us. It starts with the decision to take that first step, no matter how small, and continues through consistent action, persistence, and self-compassion. Change is not a destination, it's a journey. And by embracing the process, staying focused on our vision, and being willing to adapt along the way, we can create the life we truly desire. Every one of us has dreams, desires, and aspirations that we hope to bring to life. We envision a future filled with success, fulfillment, and happiness. But for many, that future often feels distant or impossible to achieve. The gap between where we are now and where we want to be can seem overwhelming. It's easy to feel stuck, unsure of how to begin, or even to feel like we're not capable of reaching those dreams. But the truth is, the only thing standing between us and our aspirations is the belief that we can't get there. The most significant barrier we face in achieving our dreams is the limitations we place on ourselves, often without realizing it. When we dream of the future, we often focus on the end goal, the big picture, without considering the small, actionable steps it takes to get there. We tend to overestimate the distance between where we are now and where we want to be, forgetting that the journey is made up of many small, manageable steps. Every great achievement, no matter how monumental it seems, is the result of countless small actions taken consistently over time. The key to reaching any dream is to break it down into smaller, achievable goals and then take deliberate steps every single day toward those goals. The first step in making our dreams a reality is to stop waiting for the perfect moment, Too often, we sit and wait for the right opportunity, for everything to align perfectly, or for the conditions to be ideal. We convince ourselves that once we have the right resources, the right knowledge, or the right support, we'll finally be ready to take action. But the truth is, the perfect moment rarely comes. Life is unpredictable, and waiting for everything to fall into place can cause us to miss opportunities. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, we need to create it. We need to act with what we have right now. The resources we need might not be readily available, but we have the ability to start where we are with what we have and take the first step. Another important factor in achieving our dreams is shifting our mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. Many of us are held back by limiting beliefs, the negative thoughts that tell us we aren't capable, that our dreams are too big, or that we'll never be able to overcome the obstacles in our way. These beliefs are often formed from past failures, external criticism, or the voices of others who told us what we couldn't do. However, we must realize that our past does not dictate our future. Just because we've encountered difficulties or face setbacks doesn't mean we can't succeed. Our dreams are valid, and we have the strength and the capacity to pursue them. In order to move forward, we have to recognize and challenge the limiting beliefs that hold us back, replacing them with thoughts of possibility and belief in our own potential. Equally important is the willingness to take risks. Achieving our dreams often requires stepping out of our comfort zones, and this can be intimidating. It's easy to stay in the familiar even if it isn't fulfilling because we know what to expect, but nothing changes in the comfort zone. Real growth, progress, and success happen when we push ourselves beyond our usual boundaries. Taking risks doesn't mean being reckless. It means making decisions that are aligned with our goals, even if they carry some level of uncertainty. It's about trusting that, even if we fail, we will learn and grow from the experience. The fear of failure often holds us back, but failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Every failure is a lesson, and every risk is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve. And patience is another crucial element in the process of achieving our dreams. We live in a world that values instant gratification, where we want results right away. However, the journey toward our goals takes time, and it's essential to remember that meaningful progress is often slow and steady. We may not see immediate results, and that can be discouraging, but we must remind ourselves that each step, no matter how small, is progress. Success is not about rushing to the finish line. It's about consistency and persistence. Every day that we continue to work toward our dreams, no matter how small the effort, brings us closer to our goal. We need to embrace the process, trust that the work we are doing is adding up, and know that the results will come in time. Another factor that plays a significant role in achieving our dreams is the ability to remain flexible. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes things don't go as planned. There will be challenges, setbacks, and roadblocks that we didn't anticipate. But instead of getting discouraged, we must learn to adapt. Flexibility means being open to new ways of doing things, being willing to adjust our strategies, and being able to pivot when necessary. It's about staying committed to our ultimate vision while being open to the possibility of change along the way. Sometimes the detours and the unexpected challenges turn out to be the very things that help us grow the most and lead us to better opportunities than we could have imagined. It's also crucial to surround ourselves with the right people. The people we spend time with can have a significant impact on our ability to achieve our dreams. If we're surrounded by people who are supportive, encouraging, and inspiring, we're more likely to stay motivated and focused on our goals. Conversely, if we are surrounded by negativity or people who don't believe in our dreams, it can be easy to lose confidence and get discouraged. Find people who lift you up, who inspire you, and who share your vision for success. Building a strong support system is essential to maintaining the drive and motivation needed to keep moving forward. Achieving our dreams comes down to taking action. It's easy to get caught up in planning, thinking, or dreaming about what we want, but nothing happens until we take action. Every dream, no matter how big, requires effort. It's about doing the work, even when it's hard, even when it seems like progress is slow, and even when we feel uncertain